talk a little bit of off-season baseball?
Yeah, we could do off-season baseball. Always love me some off-season baseball.
Yeah.
So do the fans.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I don't know the biggest news going on. Obviously, everybody's circling around Juan Soto right now, but I guess the more recent signings we haven't talked about Blake Snell yet.
No, that happened.
Yeah, perfect. I was like, I know it was around the same time.
Yeah. We just missed it.
So that is the biggest signing, and obviously Blake Snell, 2-time Cy Young, one of only a handful of pitchers to ever win Cy Young in both leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Now getting over $30 million a year and completely 45. Yeah, well, we can talk about deferred money later. We also have Tommy Edmonds signing. Hey, Oscar Hernandez probably coming back. Love me some Dodgers. But just outside of the Dodgers, what Blake Snell, I think I want to talk about is how he affects the other pitchers. Because Blake Snell signs probably for $100 million more than anybody expects. And now you have guys like Max Fried and Corbin Burns out there who are expected probably 25 mil. Corbin Burns is a former Cy Young Award winner. Too. Right. I think he's only one and a runner-up. But
yeah,
still,
this year, I was gonna say this year. I think he was in the conversation, but he didn't get there.
But no one would be in there. But still, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you take a couple away. But that being said, Corbin Burns, who is maybe going to get 8 years, 220 mil, can now say, well, look what Blake Snell got. And me and Blake Snell are around the same age. We have around the same career accolades. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I can't wait to see what these pitchers go for.
So it's going to be, at least for me, it's going to be a little interesting. I don't know. Blake Snell's agent is
Scott Boras.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little shocked Scott Boras was willing to take future money. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't seem like it's Scott Boras' MO.
And signing that early into the
That's what I'm saying. Well, I think he learned his lesson with Blake Snell because Snell didn't sign the last time until
right before.
Was it during spring training?
It wasn't during. It was right before spring training.
I think it was into spring training already. It was like 2 weeks out of the season.
It was something that ridiculous. Yeah. So I think this was a case. Maybe I don't know. Obviously, I don't know Blake Snell personally, but I think this was a case where he went to Scott Boras like, listen, I'm wanted, obviously, and Snell. Give me the offers. Maybe if we feel like we can get more money, sure. But I want to sign her up because I want a home instead of having to, a lot of personal life stuff goes into that too. Like, I'm sure he didn't have a house in San Francisco. I don't know if he's married or has children. I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
But,
does he?
Okay, so that's what makes it even harder.
Yeah.
Like, you have a family. Now, he just had the baby, so he did have the baby when he last year.
Yeah.
But being up in the air about where you're going and then now having to rush to get your entire life. Now, luckily for him, it was kind of not really just up the road because it's quite a long drive.
Yeah.
But
from San Diego State.
Yeah. But that's when you're talking about other pitchers, sorry to get off track, but I wonder if other agents are going to be like, listen, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mets, their MO is not to offer deferred money.
Yeah.
Now, the Dodgers have found a way around that. Now, I have a few thoughts, not negative thoughts, because the Dodgers are using
fair game technically.
The issue to their advantage, right? And so I think they could very well be screwed in a few years, but that also might not be this ownership's problem. This ownership is an investment company. They might just see it as let's sell a team in 6 years after we won 5 World Series for $10 billion and then call it a day. But I don't know if it's obviously gonna affect Corbin Burns and Max Fried, but I don't know if we're gonna see this massive jump where all these contracts match. Just because I don't know how many more teams. The Braves are certainly not gonna future money.
I think he's not coming back.
No, I don't think he's either. I don't think he's either. I think the Braves offered him one of those Braves contracts and he said no.
I think they're getting priced out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't see Steve Cohen offering a whole lot of future money.
Yeah.
I don't see the Yankees offering a whole lot of future money. The Padres, I don't see them offering a whole lot. Just these big, it's the same teams we always talk about. Yes. But it has been proven that realistically, there's only 5 or 6 teams that are willing to spend money in the MLB. Yes, it's a little fortunate. But I'm curious to see. I think it's going to be a meet in the middle of where we thought these guys were going to get, what we thought these guys were going to get, and Snell's contract. Just because they're going to meet in the middle, be like, hey, listen, we'll give you more money, but we're not going to be able to pay you in 2035 or whatever. So it's got to be less. maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But we'll obviously. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think I kind of like the idea of pitchers getting paid early already. I think we're kind of seeing it where you look at a guy like Frankie Montez who's shown he can be good. Like you look at the numbers, really, it wasn't a great season last year. So, but obviously we've seen the Mets do that with guys like Shamanaya, Luis Severino, and I mean, props to them. Getting. I don't know if I would say getting your money's worth would be $17 million. I feel like that's kind of
over
paying
3 years, I think, too. Yeah,
at 2 years, 34.
that's what it is. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm looking at the money, and even if he does, let's say sub 3 ERA, right?
Well,
I feel like you're kind of paying for that price already at that
Mhm.
level. $17 million is no like scoff.
no,
and,
but I feel like a sub 3 ERA is definitely like that's like an ace type ERA. Like that.
Sub 3, like
If you well, and you're hesitant, it almost feels like if we say it now in this day and age,
yeah,
just because of how pitchers are used now. But so Frankie Montas got traded last year, and I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he had a much better 2 months with the Brewers, and so maybe you're paying on that. Oh,
Yeah.
we saw Frankie Montas start striking people out. Let's see if he can carry that over, or was that just a fluke? And so, God, it feels so dumb to say I paid Frankie Montas $17 million a year, but maybe we're at that point. Yeah.
But like you said with Manat, I'd see going off track for me at least like $17 million. Now maybe this could be bias. I guess I would assume, but that's also very similar to what they paid Severino and Manaya,
Yeah.
and they were obviously not. You would go into the season certainly not expecting Manaya to be worth $17 million. Probably no.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, now he's probably looking for upwards 20 plus. I mean, he said no to the quality or the qualifying offer.
for a
But
reason,
that's-
probably.
I mean, the qualifying offer's stupid anyways. Nobody that wants a contract only wants one more year. Nobody,
Hey,
likes,
so we're gonna take it.
nobody likes to get
It
raised
is-
access.
It's so rare, but yeah.
I mean, like they offer. I hate the fact that they even have to offer like Pete Alonso, who's 30 or 29.
Get that free draft pick. Make him decline. Get that
Well,
the compensation.
thankfully now they've taken away the high draft picks, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Let's dial it back because that was killing free agency for a little while.
You're getting first
Um,
round picks for it's high.
But no, I think when I was only getting like 11 though last year. So
He
you
had
kind of
been.
look at it like that. That would make more sense, if you
Yeah.
get Frankie Montez for 2 years, 22. That's a lot less. That's $6 million. So it's like I'm looking at the money and I'm like, maybe that's a good case of signing early. You're getting that guaranteed money, and you might not get that in, let's say, a month where teams are like, oh, we made a trade and we got this prospect we're looking at. I think we'll roll the dice and not spend $17 million on a guy like Frankie Montez. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also like when you're talking about for him going to the Mets, it makes a lot of sense for him to sign early and jump on a contract, not only because it's a lot of money, but are the Mets going to offer him $17 million a year if they sign Soto for 45 plus? That's what I mean, though. Don't get Soto. Are they going to give Frankie Montez $17 million if they sign Corbin Burns to probably 30 plus?
He might make 40 at this rate.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're not going to offer that contract, but also I understand what you're saying with the kind of hedge their bets. Where was Montez before?
He started with the Reds. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like if you want to,
He was their opening day starter, I believe.
well, it's the
He's been bouncing around a lot lately.
But
But
he does
also,
have an opening day start.
but also like if you're gonna look at some, just compare. I'm not familiar with his numbers when he was with the Reds or with the Brewers. That's just kind of how it is. But the Reds ballpark a lot easier to hit out of than the Brewers stadium.
It was a great American small park, right?
Yeah, and so
Ball flies.
it's a lot easier to get the ball up there. Or it's higher exit velocity, and I don't want to say that this happens because obviously Frankie Montez is a competitor, but I can only assume now they were in the hunt for quite some time. The Reds, right?
The Reds started out, especially in that terrible NL Central. I think they lasted pretty deep into June, July-ish.
So that's what. So like,
yeah.
so like, I'm curious to see his numbers when they were kind of in the run,
Yeah.
compared to what his numbers were when they fell out. Because then, when his numbers came up with a very competitive Brewers team,
Yeah, he's immediately in a playoff.
He's immediately in a playoff push. I have to be better. There's just like this.
Yeah.
There's something about walking into the building knowing you have a chance.
Absolutely.
If you walk
For
into
sure.
the building and know you have no chance.
Yeah, it's true.
Like it's like the same thing with defenses in the NFL. Like you'll see like a team be terrible, but be like, hey, they have a really good defense. And then after like week 8, they're 2-6. They've only won 2 of those games because of their defense. And the other there's 6 losses. The
Mhm.
defense was still amazing, but then those last few weeks,
You just see him
defense
kind of fall off.
tapers off. The
Think we're-
defense not
yeah.
showing up to the building. Like, why are we?
Yeah.
Like our quarterback throws 7 picks, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm
We're looking
interested
at
to see that.
you, Jets.
So kind of that's
2 straight years too, actually. But like I'm kind of interested to see something like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
because you would hope that the Mets are in the playoff pick here,
Mhm.
and also City Field's very comparable. It's actually harder to hit out of than almost majority of stadiums in the MLB. But 17 million might be a whole lot. I guess it depends on if you want to describe a lot to see Khan.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably just had that stuffed under in a safe in his house, but if he goes out there, and I don't think, to be worth, I'm curious to see when you said it, I'm curious to see how many MLB pitchers had sub 3 ERA. I don't think it was.
No, it was that qualified pitchers. It was maybe like 3, and then if over 100 innings, we could maybe have like 10 to 15. It really it doesn't feel like a lot, especially when you look at the Cy Young race towards the end of the year. Obviously, relief pitchers, you got guys like Class A are ridiculous, but actual starting pitchers, this starting pitcher position is completely different now. So, yeah, I mean,
I'm saying if he goes out there sub 4, that's a lot. He gets hurt, gets some wins, he'd be worth the money.
yeah,
And
around 9 to 10 Ks per 9 and like a 3.5 ERA, and that's smashed on a
That'd
deal.
be fine because hopefully they get Soto in their offense is really good.
I did make a minor error. I did mean to say around 3.5. So when I said sub 3,
Okay.
I gotta, yeah.
They got an ace. They got an
Yes,
ace.
I
So
might
we're
have.
on the same track.
Yeah.
Just did it.
3.5 was the number exactly in my head.
$17 million guy.
Is I was like, okay, yeah, I could justify it, I suppose.
I was like,
But yeah, sub 3, I was like, wait, that didn't come out right. I don't think. But I digress.
I was trying to think in my mind who had sub 3 ERAs last year.
No one on the Angels, I can tell you that.
Chris Bale and Scooball. It's the Cy Young
Yeah,
Award
yeah,
winners.
yeah. Okay, at that point, of course, he's worth 17.
Burns
Yeah.
have sub 3?
Burns was getting smacked around in August.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
he was a part of that Oriole
Seth
fall
Lugo
off.
might have been sub 3.
that's so.
Former Mets ace Seth Lugo. They just
See,
know
but even
both
you look at a
people
guy
they
like
know he had a
Lugo,
stud.
though. I don't even think he got 17 mil when he signed.
But
You know,
He was the bullpen guy transitioning.
he was.
It was interesting because he was a bullpen guy for the Mets.
See, right?
And then he started as a bullpen guy he actually left the Mets.
The Padres.
I think
because
he wanted to be a starter.
he
right?
wanted to be a starter.
Yeah.
And the Mets said no. So he left the Mets because that all good, doesn't matter. You want to go be a starter, that's fine.
Yeah.
And shit, it worked out. I mean, he had a really good year. He's probably gonna. I don't know what his contract
Miles.
looks like, but he's probably gonna get paid pretty well.
Yeah, I think he had a 2-year deal.
Oh, he's
So-
I mean, he's older, I would assume, like in his 30s.
Early to mid 30s.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say
you're
maybe
not
like
looking at-
33 is what I was
You're
thinking.
not looking at 20 plus, but
Yeah,